Fantasia. Yeah. Do you realize it's been 20 years since we were on American Idol? Woo! Do y'all understand that? 20. Wow. Imagine going on American Idol, Simon Cowell, like auditioning. So in my mind for that audition, my goal was like, I just want Simon to say that I was a great singer. I wanted, you know, I just wanted to hear from you.
Yeah.
So to be able to see you, Lord knows how many years it's been?
Well, I think it must be about 17, 18 years.
Because I was 22, I'm 41 now.
Yeah, but that's
on this day. You know it's my birthday.
I do, of course. But Jennifer, I was your age pretty much when I was on the show, when you were on the show. So we're talking about full circle here. But, you know, all those memories I have right from the beginning is that why was the show so big in those days? It was because of people like you. It was the combination, seriously, it was the combination of talent, determination, and real personality. And even though we had that kind of like banter, you and I, it was always that. I always knew how determined you were, and you were funny, and you took it with grace because you kind of got it. I always thought that about you. You got it. But that night, I will never forget.
That night?
That night.
The night?
Let's talk about the night.
Let's talk about the night.
Yeah.
So, elimination night.
Yeah.
When I was eliminated. What was your perspective? And your
I was
thoughts?
thinking, who chose stupid Barry Manilow week? Wasn't me.
Simon being Simon.
You know, because we used to have these themes, you know, and you would have like movie nights, whatever. I think the theme that night was Barry Manilow week. It wasn't my idea.
It was Weekend in New England.
Yeah, that's right. And I remember thinking, this is not a great song. It wasn't your fault. And then, of course, what happened. And then I was thinking to myself a few days ago, if you were going to go back in time, would you have changed the song, or would you have kept things as they were?
That is a good question. He done flipped the script on me. Hold the line.
I've always wanted to ask you this question.
No, but it's other songs before that I would have changed. Because that song, you know, it led me to getting Dream Girls, honey. Exactly. Because it was structured. Barry Manilow structured that song as if it was And I'm Telling You. Yeah. And a lot of people thought that's what I was singing.
Exactly.
And but I felt as though, I think this is a good question because what I felt as though, like, when you're on a show like that, you want to have the song that you feel represents you best. Yeah. And it was a few songs in the beginning that I'm like, I don't feel like that represents my artistry. Circle of Life, I felt like it represented my artistry. So by the time I was eliminated, I felt like I got an opportunity to display who I was as an artist. So I was okay with being eliminated. And then once I was like, you know what? You're walking away with your talent. Yeah. You're walking away with your gift. This competition may be over, but your passion isn't. Yeah. Your love and your drive isn't. Yeah. And too often, thank you. Too often people give up and think that's the end of the road. And I said, no, I'll be back. And I don't know when, I don't know how, but I will sing my way to it. You know what I mean? And I kept that goal in mind, and I didn't give up. I have to say, you were always extra supportive on the show. She used to get us gifts and stuff, y'all, which was very encouraging. Like, you know, you were the softness of it all that kept us, at least I would like to think, grounded.
Someone had to be. Definitely, you know, wasn't gonna be the guy to the left of me.
Yeah, you know, because back then Simon wasn't too nice. He wasn't very.
Welcome to my world for a decade.
Was he tough on you too, Paula?
Tough on me?
Yeah.
I'd have spikes on my heels so I could kick them underneath the table. I mean, honest to God.
I never thought about what it was like for the judges to sit next to Simon. But he's so mellow now.
Well, he's a daddy.
Is that what changed him?
I think so.
You think so?
I think so.
Because it felt so different when he came here. I said, this ain't the same Simon. Where's Simon go?
I know.
You feel the same way?
Yeah, he's different.
Wow.
Not that different, though.
Not that different?
Not that
What do you think is still the same?
Oh, gosh. He's snarky, as always. He's snarky. I mean...
Paula telling on you, Simon.
Yeah, no, seriously. And he still makes jokes every time I see him. He goes, come here, Paula. Come here. Like how I would say to my chihuahuas.
So, I know people still come up to me about me being eliminated from American Idol. Do people still come up to you about it?
Oh, my goodness. I mean, that was a moment. When you were eliminated, it was like the whole world was pissed.
They'd still be mad.
That's true.
Yeah.
I'm sure they come up to you. I mean, people still talk to me about, God, that night that Jennifer Hudson was eliminated.
Really?
I go, I know. And I remember interviewing you after, and when I was on Entertainment Tonight, and I said to you, you know, I have a feeling some amazing things are going to happen to you. Remember I said, sometimes the people that need to win, and the people that don't need to win end up winning big time. And you did.
Thank you. Thank you. See, for that encouragement you always was giving me. I appreciate it so much. Wait a minute. It's been 20 years since American Idol started. Can you believe it?
I know.
20 years?
That was like a whole grown-up ago.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I was 22 when I was on Idol. I'm 41 now. So it's all, and I was season 3. 7th place and proud of it. Okay? So tell me this, a psychic predicted that you were going to be on Idol?
This is absolutely true.
Yeah.
I was gifted a gift certificate to see a psychic, and I was skeptical. And I remember, this was 3 years before American Idol even started. And she proceeded to tell me that I'm going to be doing a television show, like a talent show, and I was like, what? I mean, my only reference had been Star Search from decades ago. I'm like, I'm not doing that. She goes, honey, you willed it to happen. It's happening. You're doing it. And I'm like, I didn't pay attention. She said I'd be sitting in between with an R across the pond, and that he will be the thorn in my side, and that I'll be sitting also to the right of me in between a gentleman that I already know. His name starts with the letter R. And they said, and she said that it would be at a studio with the initial F. She said it was going to be the biggest show, break records on television, and I paid no attention to it. I really didn't. And it was almost 3 years to date when I was called into Fox.
I want to say it again.
Oh, my God.
Without this man, I wouldn't be here today. Thank you so much.
Oh, listen, I love you. Thank you for your voice and bringing your voice to us on the show.
Thank you.
When we saw you audition in Atlanta, I was like, yo, you know, I grew up in the church, in the hood. You grew up in the church, probably in the hood, too. Listen, singing is what we love. We grew up loving singing in the church.
Yes.
And when I heard you when you auditioned, I was like, that girl's got something.
Oh, thank God you heard it. Listen.
Yo, and she still got it today, y'all. JHud is in her house.
Listen, I gotta say, I don't know about you, but that clip just took me back. I felt like I was still sitting there, because after a while for me, elimination nights would hunt me, y'all. I would be like, why am I so nervous today? What's gonna, oh, right. Even after I was eliminated, I would still feel that energy.
Oh, man.
And be like, right, it's elimination night. Because it tases you, and it kind of never leaves you, so that just took me all the way back.
Well, it took me back because I'm looking at like, whoa, you haven't aged today.
You don't think so? You look good too now, Randy.
Look, man, look, I'm saying, right?
Okay, so I gotta ask you, because people still come up to me about like being eliminated in season 3 of American Idol and things like that. Do you still get people coming up to you about it?
Yeah, people often wonder about what would happen on the show, but listen, you are proof to the whole thing that everyone should notice out there trying to be an artist or whatever career you're doing. You knew that you had a gift given by God.
Thank you.
Never give up.
Thank you.
Never, ever give up, because look, I'm so proud of you. For me, I'm probably more proud of you than I'm proud of any other Idol winner because you didn't win.
I did not.
And look at what you've done.
Thank you.
No, and
Well,
look
praise
at what
God.
you've done. That's the thing. Keep going. Never give up.
Never give up.
Believe in yourself and believe in your talent.
Thank you.
And you did it. You said, look, this ain't gonna stop me. 1 door closes, 5 more about to open.
You better preach on today.
No, that is true.
Randy brought the sun.
No.
Open up the doors of the church. But that is the thing that I took with me. Like, I always find things, so nothing is just. And everything is a lesson. So even when it seems negative, it's like, no, you're always learning. And you can always grow from that and apply it to the next thing. And again, that just took me back to like that time. And it's like, I remember in that moment, I'm like, well, I still have my talent. I still have my gift. And as long as I keep going with it, it has no choice but to give in, you know?
And true
and I
to
try
the
to keep
show.
going.
Well, listen, I love that. And true
Thank
to
you.
the show, you get an audience now. So there's a lot of people that loved you. They didn't all love you enough to make you win, but they loved you.
Yes.
So you come to the show and you now got an audience.
Yes.
And as my grandma would say, I'm sure a lot of y'all out there, I'm sure people in your family, do not block the blessings. You don't know where they're gonna come from.
Fantasia. Yeah. Do you realize it's been 20 years since we were on American Idol? Woo! Do y'all understand that? Now, for me, I said I hopped on that American Idol roller coaster, and it's been running ever since. I never would have guessed. I would be sitting here, and y'all will be sitting here. Do you see this? That was the finale.
Okay, you remember the day they...
When you won.
No, the day they tried to put us all in the bottom three, and we were all standing
No,
there.
that wasn't then. This was the finale. I remember it like yesterday. I don't forget nothing.
But that day, though, we all had the look on our face like, really?
Yes, yes. Now, that was when I went home during that season. But listen, what do you remember during that time?
Working hard.
Right?
We worked very, very hard. I also remember building great relationships and being around great gifts. So iron sharpens iron, and just being around you guys, making a family, and being up every morning.
Every morning.
Away from our families, but steady going because it was something that we all wanted. And now look.
Can you believe that?
Yeah.
I gotta say this. I always get just flustered when I have people that I'm just madly obsessed with and a huge fan of. They are the hardest people to interview when you got somebody that you just love like nobody's business. I think you are so amazing.
Well, I feel the same way about you,
I
so
love
I'm just
you
like...
so much.
Thank you. I feel the same way, though. They said, oh, Jennifer Hudson's show. I said, oh my gosh, I'm so excited. I was so excited to hear that you got this show.
Thank you.
That you're doing it, and I could not wait to come on here and talk to you.
Listen, do you hear this?
Love her.
Oh my God. Like, what I was trying to say, like, neither one of us won American Idol. And look at us now. Do you see what
We're doing all right.
We're doing all right. Because you placed, what did you place?
I was second place.
You
I was
were
the
second
runner-up,
place.
yeah.
Well, I was 7, child.
7?
7th place.
It doesn't make
on
any
American
sense.
Idol.
Makes no sense.
Wow. So what was it like when you made it to the finals? Because the thing that I used to be upset about. Look at that.
Oh, do you remember that emo hair? Do you remember everyone
my
had that,
God.
like, that hair?
So you had always had your own flavor and style, and then that voice that you had. What did you sing for your American Idol audition?
Do you know, it's funny because they didn't air my entire audition.
Okay.
I walked in and tried to sing a Michael Jackson song. I tried to sing Rock With You. And the judges were like this. They just kind of like, they weren't not getting it. And I saw their perplexed faces, and I thought, okay, I'm not leaving without getting through. So I said, okay, hey, let me sing something else for you. What do you want? What do you want to hear? And they're like, well, what do you have? And I'm like, Bohemian Rhapsody for Queen.
That was genius.
And you know, if I hadn't have sung that, I don't know if I would be having been on tour with them for the past 10 years.
He's been on tour with Queen. And that was your audition. See, that's another thing we have in common because my American Idol audition song was Share Your Love With Me by Aretha Franklin. And I ended up playing Aretha, and then you are part of the group.
Fate, right?
Fate.
You have to plant the seeds, you know?
Right.
Sometimes fate needs a little help.
So you were on American Idol in 2011. I was on American Idol in, y'all don't want to know.
Idol
20
royalty,
years
right?
ago.
Idol royalty, right?
Oh my goodness, thank you. Like, could you imagine, because I always say, listen, I hopped on an American Idol roller coaster and it's been going ever since.
Yeah.
How has it been for you? Like, can you believe how far you've come?
It's been a wild ride. I think if somebody would have told me back at 16 when I auditioned for the show, like, hey, 13 years later, you'll still be doing it, writing country songs, touring the country, the world, having fun, I would have shook their hand in a heartbeat and said, I'll take that deal. This is fun.
Wow. And you, like I said, you were 16 then.
Yeah.
So what was the Idol experience like for you?
It's just like what you had. It was a roller coaster. I mean, one day I was bagging groceries back home in North Carolina, and the next it's like lights, camera, action, 30 million people are watching. Here you go do it.
Yes.
Like, okay. But I learned a lot. I had so much fun, and it opened so many doors for me. You know that. So.
Yes. Yes. It is a blessing, that is for sure. And then, okay, what's this that you say in the second week of the show you almost didn't make it? What does that mean?
I wouldn't have let me through if I was them.
What happened?
It was Hollywood Week. I mean, do you want to talk about Hollywood Week? It was tough. And I mean, you don't get any sleep, and they're like, all right, at 10 a.m. you're singing this song, and I forgot all the lyrics, and I thought I was done because there's so many great singers, and the talent's amazing, but for some reason, they gave me a second chance, and I'm so glad they did because it was a teaching moment for me, and I was like, can't let that happen again. Got to show up prepared, and I've remembered that, you know, even all these years later.
No, I understand that. Woo! Now, thinking of what I remember most from being on American Idol, like for a long time, y'all, I was still getting nervous on elimination days.
Oh.
Even long after I was off of the show, I'll be somewhere and I'm like, man, I feel anxious. What's wrong? Oh, child, it's Wednesday, elimination day.
Exactly.
Okay, and I feel like it's only, well, now it's a lot more, but it's only a few of us who shared the same experience from being on the show. So I feel like we're all bonded together in some way. Like, oh, that's my idol friend over there.
Exactly. It's a family. It's a family for sure.
Is.
I've been asked, like, would you ever want to be a judge? And I'm like, absolutely not. Like, I don't want to do that. Do you? Like, I know what it feels like to be on the stage being judged. I don't want to put that on somebody else.
No, I understand that.
I'll help them. I'm into
But I don't know. I think I have to
it.
think about
You
it.
crush
Like,
it.
would I be a judge? But it is a cool experience. Okay, what performance do you feel like was your favorite performance for yourself?
For me on the show?
Yeah.
Rock and Roll Week, I got to sing an Elvis Presley song, That's All Right, Mama. And Priscilla,
Wow.
I love that guy. But the kicker was that Priscilla was there at the show, and I got to talk with her kind of between commercial breaks.
Yeah.
She looked at me and she said, Scotty, can I tell you something? And I said, absolutely, Priscilla. She said, Elvis would have loved you.
Oh.
Oh my God. I had to sing after that. Like, what
After that, you had to sing?
What a,
Woo,
oh,
child.
man, but that was the best compliment I've ever received.
Those things definitely stick. That helps us get the confidence to keep going further.
Absolutely.
I'm so happy to see you.
Oh, thank you.
I feel like I watched you grow up.
Oh my gosh, really?
Yeah, because you was only like 16 or 17 on
Yeah.
American Idol, right?
Yeah, I was 16.
How old are you now?
17. I'm 31 now.
31.
Yeah.
He was such a baby. Okay, and recently you came out publicly. Like, how does that feel?
It's been a process because, you know, for a while, I grew up very religious, grew up Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, aka Mormons. And for them, everything is about marriage, about being able to marry someone and procreate, essentially, because then that's the closest you can become like God, creating life. And so I tried everything I could. I almost got married several times, and yeah. And they would always say, like, why are you so cold? Like, did I do something wrong? And I just, no matter how hard I tried, I couldn't desire them the way that they wanted to, the way they deserved, really. And so I was wondering, did I do something wrong? And so it's been very interesting learning how to separate yourself from, like, this is what I was taught, this is the most important thing you do, this is all that matters, and not be able to fit that mold. But I have been learning how to love myself, and it's been...
That's the important thing. Stepping away from the Mormon church, that was a hard decision you made.
Yeah, I did have to take a step away because, you know, after trying to talk to some of the church leaders and explain to them my situation, I realized there's a lot of lack of understanding with LGBT people, because when I talked to them, you know, it seemed like the assumptions were that LGBT people, all that they think about is sex. And it's all about sex, and so people think it's an evil thing. And so you think there must be something evil about me, and I need to change this about me. And no matter how hard you try, you can't. You know, that's why I was engaged. I got engaged 3 times, and you know, they were all wonderful girls, but you just think, I'm a failure. This evil is going to consume me. And so what should I do? I don't want to be evil in God's sight. I don't want to betray him. So you start thinking, no matter how hard, no matter how much you pray, how much you fast, you start thinking, well, is it better if I I'm not here anymore? You know, you just consider, because if I'm here, this is eventually going to explode out of me and I'm going to become evil. And you don't want that to happen. You want to be good with God. And so I was praying, and one day I was just praying and got on my knees, and I said, God, if you're really there, and if you really have a purpose for me, just please take this from me. Please change me, because I don't want to be a way I shouldn't. I don't want to be like this, and I don't know why I am. And I just basically heard what I understood as what was always God told me, David, you need to stop asking me this. You're asking me the wrong thing. Because I don't intend to change you. You've been spending over half of your life now praying about this, asking me to change something that I don't intend to change. Because I created you like this.
We were both on American Idol together.
I know. We have so many things in common except for the fact that I've never won an Oscar.
Oh, stop it. I mean, girl, you've done exceptionally well.
It's crazy that we both, I mean, I know that we did smash together for 2 seasons, or that second season, but that I forget that we got our start the same place.
I know, right? And then, let's see, you made it to the finals.
I did.
Did you ever think you would get that far?
No, I kind of was I was overconfident thinking that I would get onto the show, maybe like top 10, but I did not think I would make it to the top 2.
Do you remember being nervous for the performances?
It was beyond. Like a kind of nervousness that you can't explain and that I wasn't prepared for. I mean, I was always like singing around the house, but I was not a performer per se. Like I go back, I try not to go back and look too much, but I did a lot of step touching. You know,
really?
Like step, touch. I was confident, but I had no idea what I was doing. I really didn't.
You know what? I didn't either because I always thought of singing. Like I grew up singing in the church, so when I got to American Idol, they like said perform. I'm like, what is performing? You know?
Right.
And I felt like that's when, but
I
I felt like it was a
entertaining
good
people,
boot camp.
aside from the voice.
Yeah.
It was a perfect boot camp.
To teach you about the industry and how it works.
Yeah, I definitely feel like I learned a lot.
But American Idol is also where you met your husband, Grammy Award-winning producer David Foster.
That is...
Wow, girl, wow.
It's a real wow. Like, the fact that we still sometimes like look at each other and can't believe that we met that long ago, and we went on vacations together with other couples, like with other significant others, and we're just really great friends. And he was so great and had me in the studio, had me do charity events, like we did an event together. But yeah, we're just we can't believe the ride that we've been on. So, but that show, I look back at it even more fondly, American Idol, because of the fact that it gave me my husband and my first child. My first child, as if I'm revealing.
Congratulations!
If you like this video, smash that like button and subscribe to the Jennifer Hudson Show YouTube channel. Check your local listings or visit jenniferhudsonshow.com to see when you can watch full episodes in your area. And don't forget to sign up for the newsletter.